What is up, everyone? Welcome to the Underdog Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Nolan and I'm just joined by Salvatore.
I miss Antonio.
Antonio is not here.
We love him.
He's taking a hiatus.
It's all right.
But
he'll be back.
He'll be back next week, I think. But the show must go on.
Interesting week 10. You guys have a mind meld together, you and Antonio.
We do. We didn't tell you, but we do.
So 3 weeks ago you both went 2-1. 2 weeks ago you went 1-2 and paid 3, or you went 3-0, and last week you both went 1-2. So you guys, after 3 straight weeks, you still have the same record. All different picks. You still have the same record.
This is after 9 weeks of
just different picks. You're both. Hold on.
That's 27 picks.
This is like the substitute teacher comes in and you got like a reset period.
Yeah.
This is like the catch up right now.
Yeah.
15-11 and 1 push for both of you. That is your pick 3 record. I'm 13-14. So
okay.
we're all kind of in the same range.
In the same ballpark.
Year to date, you are 62, 71-2. You still have a lot of time to catch up. I'm 71, 62-2, the complete like opposite. And Antonio's 69, 64-2. So we're all doing pretty good.
Nice number.
69. We're all right around 500. So it's not like we're killing it, but we're not doing bad either. We're kind of right there.
Yeah, and it's like just after 9 weeks and we have the same record, and
it just doesn't make sense because
we don't pick the same
every
teams.
week you guys have the same pick 3 record, and you will pick 3 completely different games and still have the same record.
That is so weird.
And you went 3-11, not great, but you went 3-11 and yet still had the same pick 3 record last week as Antonio.
That's something I like doing. I like being shit.
But then you'll get your pick 3 somehow. It doesn't make sense.
I don't know what's going on.
Whatever.
There's
the first thing I want to talk
about not of my control.
The first thing I want to discuss is what the fuck happened Monday night. Was it just, 49ers were playing for their life and it just
I really don't know. I didn't get to see most of the game. And by the time I did see it was over.
It was not a contest, Nolan. It was first drive of the game, Stafford threw that 60-yard pick to Jimmy Ward, and after that they had a 16-play drive, drove it right down the field, scored a touchdown. I think the Rams punted the next possession. They scored another touchdown. Then the Rams finally scored, and then it was just all 49ers after that. The 49ers controlled the whole game. It wasn't even close.
That's interesting because I think I caught some of the highlights, and I thought, like, wow, this is the first time I've seen the old San Fran that went to the Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. And I don't want to say that's scary for that division, but
you got to think too, they have not played their best football yet this season.
They really haven't, but I thought, we're halfway through the season now, a little over halfway through. Is it too late?
They're still in the hunt. They can still make the wild card. If you go, I think, what are they, 4-5 right now or something like that?
Maybe 4 and 5 sounds right.
So if you go, I don't know, 5-3.
So
if you go 5-2 or 5-3 for the rest of the year, you can make the playoffs.
Here's my beef. If we're not counting them out, I'm not counting the Seahawks out. Without Russell Wilson, and then they come back, and he's going to come back now.
What's the Seahawks record? The same thing?
I think the same. I think the exact same.
Let's see. Seahawks are 3-6. So
okay, one game back.
Back? Yeah.
If the Rams start to take a skid.
I don't think they're going to win the division, but the last place for the NFC is Carolina right now. So they're all kind of like jockeying for that last spot.
Carolina sucks.
Carolina with Cam looks.
It kind of gets me a little horny.
Yeah.
Like, get Sam Darnold out of there. People had a glimpse of Sam Darnold and they started blaming the Jets, which I was a victim of. But now he sucks again.
How do we not think about Cam Newton first touchdown? I know he didn't start, but like.
I don't know, because anytime they're going to go down there and they're going to be...
Oh, it's Cam Newton.
How did we not think of this before, that he would go back there?
I don't know.
That was when Sam Darnold was playing good, though.
I don't get why people think Sam Darnold's good. Like, you just watch Sam Darnold and you can just see that he's not a good quarterback.
There was like glimpses in the beginning of the season where Carolina was playing good. And
what?
And we were like, okay.
Against Houston?
But he wasn't spectacular, though.
He's icky.
Yeah.
I'm not a Sam Darnold. He's done. I mean, he might be.
Anytime they play a remotely even good team, he's just non-existent.
I mean, Belichick's the best defensive coach in the league, but anytime he plays Belichick, it's just like.
Yeah, I think we could see that coming.
He throws for like 100 yards. Like, he finishes the game with literally 100 yards. He can't do anything. He can't move the ball.
And like Robbie Anderson was getting pissed. You saw that?
Mm-hmm. And then, of course, he scores a touchdown, too, after being non-existent.
From Cam. Yep. That was sick. I liked that play.
I
love Cam back.
Carolina might be a little back, honestly. I like the whole fun show they got going right now.
I mean, if they're requiring him to carry them for the rest of the season,
I think he can for 7 weeks.
I still don't think he's the answer, but I mean,
no, it's just fun.
Yeah, it's super fun. Like, and I used to hate Cam, but I just like the more I see him, I'm like, dude, this is awesome.
Yeah, I mean,
what about OBJ?
Why is it even a discussion? Like, who cares about Odell Beckham?
Okay, so we said that they should get rid of him. That was a couple weeks ago. I didn't think that they would get rid of him this season, in the middle of the season. I thought it was funny how it all went down, where he was like, he's going to go to Green Bay. He might go to the Saints because he's from Louisiana.
Out of nowhere, the Rams.
And then out of nowhere, he's like, I'm going to go to the Rams. It was just no one even thought of it.
You want to know what's weird, too? How does Robert Woods tear his meniscus or whatever, like, the day after Odell signs? Like, that was
his ACL.
Or ACL. That was just so... Like, it was just, like, perfect timing, I guess. But at the same time, now, like, Odell really needs to, like, step up.
Divine intervention.
I did not like the last two against Tennessee and against San Francisco. I did not like what I saw from the Rams the last 2 weeks. They just if you play like a physical, like, you know, grind it out, like just run the ball, like kind of like hard-nosed football. The Rams hate that kind of game. Like, they just want to, like, you know, finesse, and
which is weird because I just feel like with their defense, they should be able to push people around.
Did you see Kittle bitch Von Miller over blocking him?
No.
He like came across the line, and like Von Miller like tried to go to the outside, and Kittle literally just ran through him and like put him on the ground. I was like, wow.
Dude, Kittle's intense. He's an intense human. I think Von Miller, but I like that he went to the Rams because he can't be like the number one guy anymore, just with all of his injuries, and he's getting older. I mean, he's what, 30? He's 31?
Yeah, 32,
31. So I mean, like he's right at like probably more so down the hill now, but like
still a valuable player to that team.
He doesn't have to be. He's got Aaron Donald now, but I just think with that piece, they should be able to do a lot more. I don't know how they had such a poor performance. They're adding Von Miller and then adding, you know, one of the most dynamic wide receivers.
They're calling him Matthew Gofford now.
That's terrible. That is terrible. Because if you've seen what Jared Goff has been doing in Detroit, and that tie against the Steelers, that was the most scripted thing ever.
That game was always ending in a tie.
Mason Rudolph loves tying football games.
I hate Mason Rudolph, bro. Like, just look at him. Just like literally.
And how funny is it too? Like, we are mind readers. We were talking about Mason Rudolph 2 weeks ago. Like, we were like, oh, what is he? Yo, he's a bum. He's a bum. Starts against the Lions.
He sucks, bro.
He's so bad. The Steelers are so bad.
You were watching Red Zone, obviously, and like the other games were on, like the 4:00 games were on, so they were showing the 4:00 games, and the Lions game was still going on.
And anytime they went to that game, I'm like, ugh.
Well, no, anytime they went to that game, it was like 30-18 in overtime, and it was like, what did you do on first and second down?
I watched that whole overtime. It was not good. There was nothing going on. I think, well, the Steelers had that fumble. And then the Lions got it.
They had 2 fumbles.
Yeah, and so I think it was the last one. And then I'm like, oh, here we go. Yeah, let's go. And then that fucking field goal. What the fuck?
Oh, that was the worst field goal of all time by the Lions kicker.
Everyone thought it was like tipped or whatever. But no,
that's what
sucked.
I was watching with my roommates, and we were like, oh yeah, he tipped it. And then they showed the replay. No tip.
No tip at all. No one was even close.
They're like, oh, it's rainy outside. It's like, can you not kick in the rain? Like, I don't know. That was a bad kick.
I still just feel bad for Dan Campbell.
I mean, I expect nothing less from the Lions at this point.
They're just so bad.
They're just so Lions. They're just the Detroit Lions.
And they thought getting Jared Goff would do anything.
I mean, I don't think they think Jared Goff's the answer, but I think they...
Him and Matt Stafford are the same person.
Are they?
Yeah. They're the same person.
They're just going to draft someone this year.
Okay, so how the Rams were, I'd say, just as good as they are now with Jared Goff.
Right around, yeah, probably.
And the Lions were just as bad with Matthew Stafford, so they're the same person.
I guess
they traded the same person.
I thought you were a big Matt Stafford guy.
I am. I think he's good, and I was happy to see him go to a better franchise. But now we've just seen him and Jared Goff are just the same.
No Rams Super Bowl then, because you said that.
I did, and I guess I'm gonna pause and see how they play this weekend because who do they?
Seahawks. I believe. Survey says.
Am I stupid? Are they not on here?
Did you grab the wrong one?
No, week 11. Are they on bye?
They are on bye.
Oh, okay. I mean, I don't know if you can look it up, but who do they play in week 12?
Week 12, they play.
Who do they play coming off the bye? It's got to be a division, right?
After the bye. They play the Packers. How appropriate.
So I guess we'll get to see.
Speaking of my Green Bay Packers, they have been looking very good, Nolan, haven't they?
They're never winning the Super Bowl. They're just not. I will have this discussion with you every week.
I mean, let's talk honestly. If they are the number 1 seed and it goes through Lambeau, it's going to be very hard to beat that team. It is. It genuinely is.
I agree, but they said that last year.
See,
they went through Green Bay last year.
I get what you're saying, but at the same time, it's like
they're not any different.
They have to win 2 games, and who are they going to play realistically? Like
the Bucks.
I don't think they lose to the Bucks 2 years in a row. I just don't.
I do.
If they do, they do. I mean, betting against Tom Brady's not a smart thing, but
if the Bucks make it past the first week of the playoffs, they're going to the Super Bowl.
Bucks Pats.
I would love that. You saw what Chris Collinsworth said?
I've been in. Oh my god!
He's called 4 Super Bowls, and the Pats have been in every single one.
When I saw that, I was like, "Let's hold the phone a little bit, please." I don't.
So let's shift to that. The Pats have been.
They look like the best team in the AFC right now.
How crazy is that? What happened?
Well, no, I don't want to disrespect the Titans like that. The Titans have been the best team in the AFC.
But those are 2 surprise teams that I don't think anyone thought.
But the Patriots the last couple of weeks have been unstoppable, basically. Okay, granted, they played who 2 weeks ago? They played before the Browns.
The Jets?
They play? No, there's someone in between. They played someone kind of Carolina. They played so they've been playing
the Browns have probably been the best team they've played in 3 weeks, 4 weeks.
But they did what they needed to.
They beat the shit out of them.
Yeah,
but at home, and we all know how Patriots play at home.
I hate coming on here as a Patriots fan being like, oh, the Patriots are going to the Super Bowl, wow. But I can definitely see it.
I mean, with how the Bills have been playing, like shit. Let's talk about that. What's happened to the Bills?
The Manning curse.
The Manning curse. I couldn't believe that was a real thing.
I said it before the Jaguars game, and I was like,
that game was the ugliest game I've ever seen.
No touchdowns.
No.
I haven't seen that in a football game in so long.
That I want to in SpongeBob when Mr. Krabs, guys watching the TV, he makes them unwatch it. That's what I wanted to happen. When I was watching that game, it's
that's
I
so
never
want
to see highlights of this game. I just want them to erase it from everyone's files.
I've heard this theory about the Bills before. They're not comfortable being the
top dog.
Yeah,
they're more of an underdog.
The pretty girl. They don't like being everyone knows that they're the best team and they come out and no, that's not how they are. They gotta have a little chip on their shoulder. They're not very good being the favorite, I don't think. And now that the Patriots are playing the way they are, if they played, they do play in a couple weeks. I think the spread.
They still have to play twice.
I think that the spread of those games are going to be very close. I think if it's in Buffalo, it's Buffalo -4 or 3.5. I don't think it's anything.
If the trends keep going the way they have been, I definitely can see that. This is where I get a little bit of pause though, because people really forget that the Patriots were struggling in the beginning of the year, and who was playing really good in the beginning of the year? The Bills. So maybe this is just, Patriots are rolling because they've been playing weaker competition. They've been able to take advantage with the better coaching that they have. And then, maybe the Bills have struggled a little bit. Like what you said, they're not used to being the top dog. This is just, the Odyssey where there needs to be a struggle before they triumph. I don't know what it is, but I still am not going to count out the Bills, just like I'm not going to count out the Chiefs. who the Chiefs.
The Chiefs are back.
Finally looked like the Chiefs. Although this game against the Dallas Cowboys, we will definitely see if the Chiefs are back or not.
You love Dallas in that game. I know you.
I love Dallas. In that game.
Let's go. No, I think that's like exactly what the Chiefs needed. Like they just needed to. Realistically, it didn't matter how many points their defense gave up. They needed one of those like explosive, like 35, 40-point games where they came out.
Which
and
we've been saying
was trying to happen for. I've been saying that for 4 weeks. I've been saying, like against the Titans, I took the Chiefs. Against the who they played 2 weeks ago, against the
Giants,
I took the Chiefs, and against whoever they played the week before. Oh no, and then against the Raiders, I said that the Chiefs were going to cover too. Not obviously not on the podcast, but that's what I thought. So it's like I still see it in the Chiefs, but it's just a matter of how consistent can they be every week. They put up 40 on the Raiders, great, and that should give them some sort of momentum. But then this week you play probably your biggest game of the season if you're Kansas City. And can they step up to the plate and beat a Dallas team coming in that is riding high, is one of the best teams in the NFC, and can easily put up 40 on your defense?
Yeah, we've seen them put up 40 many times this season.
That game is such an over.
Oh my God. Make the line 75.
70. That game is such an over.
If it's 75, I'll still take the over. Like, that's just one of those games. It's going to be like the 38-45.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that has that written all over it. It's a 4 o'clock game.
4:25, yeah.
Love that.
Oh my God, Romo's going to be on it too.
Oh my God, love that even more. I don't know. I guess we'll see. I just think it's very dangerous. That defense, I will never, put faith in that defense.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen how bad they are, which honestly makes the Raiders look a little bit worse. At home, they only put up 17.
I mean, Deshaun Jackson sold. Let's be honest.
He did. That was a really bad play. I don't know why he didn't continue going upfield.
That's literally all you have to do for a touchdown.
They said he was like stunned because he didn't think he was going to catch it, but you still had it in your hands. How long does it take you to realize that you have it in your hands?
Well, it was just like the whole like nonsense of he catches the ball, he like semi-gets hit, then he starts throwing back towards his own end zone. It's like, what are you doing? Just run forward or diagonal. I did not get that.
And it all went downhill from there. I just like, I don't know. Are the Chiefs back? Are they?
It's hard to say now. I want to believe.
I never thought they left. I think they were just struggling there for a little bit. I will never count Patrick Mahomes out. We've seen what he can do.
I watched the worst Thursday night football game I ever watched last Thursday.
The Ravens got a gift from the football gods.
Why?
Because the Browns lost and the Steelers tied. They are so lucky.
They are lucky.
Because, and the Browns, on the other hand, not being able to take advantage of that is, could cost them. But I just think it was, really bad. I watched that game. That game sucked. That game was so bad.
Tua obviously comes in at the end and scores a touchdown too. Like that just had to happen.
Whatever. They should have Deshaun Watson, but whatever.
I still don't get that.
They play the Jets this weekend.
The Dolphins?
Yeah.
Oh. Games like that just don't play. Like if it's like those kind of teams, like just don't play the game. Who cares?
Just I don't know.
Andrew Barnes.
The Jets are winning. Andrew. I love Andrew. He's probably our number one fan of this podcast. So, you know what? I'm going to give him a gift this week. The Jets are winning.
All right.
The Jets are winning. They're going to beat the Dolphins' ass.
For the whole Barnes household.
Yeah. They're going to win. They're +3 at home.
Why not?
Miami doesn't like coming up to New York or New Jersey.
Carson Wentz is so icky.
I know Carson Wentz.
We say this every podcast, but like, come on, man. They beat the Jaguars by 6.
No, I say it every podcast.
They're just not impressive. Like every week I watch the Colts and I'm just like, you're not good. Like
it's the same thing. They got rid of Phillip Rivers and they got Carson Wentz. They're the same person. I'd rather have Phillip Rivers.
I'd rather have Phillip Rivers too. Did you see him on the Manning broadcast and he was like making fun of the Ravens offensive coordinator?
No.
He said like Miami's defense was running like zero blitz like 80% of the time, and they kept trying to run like the same play over and over again, and it wasn't working. He's like, yeah, they're a bunch of idiots over there or something. I was like, oh my.
Phillip Rivers is hilarious, dude.
I love me a good Phillip Rivers, honestly. He's very underrated. I mean, like, we don't have to end a Phillip Rivers career, but I think he's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, I think if he had somehow broken through and got the Chargers a Super Bowl, he'd for sure be in the Hall of Fame.
Playing against the 17-0 or 18-0 Patriots, it's not an easy task either. And
the Patriots have had the Chargers number, I think, in the playoffs forever. So
since the year 2000, they've had the Chargers number.
Yeah. So, if the Patriots don't have such a big dynasty, maybe Phillip Rivers is Tom Brady. Who knows? Maybe he has 3 or 4 rings
in an alternate universe.
Yeah, it's somewhere out there.
Last game I really want to dive into. What's going on with the Chargers? They've just looked very...
I don't know. That was a good segue. That's another team that has just not performed the way that we've seen them perform.
They were riding so high to start off the season.
Until they played the Patriots. And the Patriots have the Chargers number.
It all ties in.
We're in a simulation. I don't know. They just been...
Because Minnesota's not like...
Good. They're not.
They're just one of those like middle of the road teams, and like if the Chargers want to make the playoffs, they can't lose these like.
And fuck Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, well, it was a 4:00 game, so that's fine. It doesn't affect him whatsoever. But like the Chargers are one of those teams where it's like you got to beat the teams that like come in there and are like not. I don't want to say Minnesota's not good, but like they're just like not one of the upper echelon teams. So like if you want to make the playoffs, you got to beat these kind of teams. And losing to Minnesota at home, like that's a big blemish on your record. And they've lost 2 out of 3 weeks at home. They lost to the Patriots and they lost to Minnesota. So they really need to get back on the horse. And they play in primetime this week, which every fan in the stadium is going to be for the other team because that's how it always happens with them. They have no home field advantage whatsoever. They play Pittsburgh, and Pittsburgh loves to travel.
Yeah. Pittsburgh, it's going to be 80% Pittsburgh fans.
So
that's got to be so tough.
I mean,
playing
like
for the Chargers, and you guys have just no fans.
Yeah, like what? Imagine going into your home stadium. Everyone's like Steelers. It's like,
is a home game ever even a home game? They just play 17 away
road
games.
Yeah.
That's
why they're so good on the road. Like whenever they go on the road, I feel like they win.
They're used to it. Yeah, they're used to.
Yeah, they don't care.
Yeah, they're like, well, like, oh, we have crowd noise. Who cares? We deal with this every week.
Tennessee also beat the Saints too, and I would say that was a pretty good game.
Tennessee
they just got it done somehow.
We've talked about Tennessee and the Patriots right now are probably the 2 best teams in the AFC as of right now.
Yeah.
Like if we're just looking at past few weeks, they are the top 2.
I mean, Tennessee without Derrick Henry, like you thought they would take a step back. They've beaten the Rams. They're 7-0 against playoff teams this year.
Mike
Vrabel's coach of the year.
I love Mike Vrabel. I just think it's like they are so good at team football, like situational football, where, okay, Derrick Henry's out.
Adrian Peterson.
Who cares? We'll just get
Adrian
Peterson. We'll just find a way. And that is championship DNA. So, I mean, if they make a run again like they did 2 years ago, I wouldn't be surprised.
It's funny because I called them the worst defense in the league the first 4 or 5 weeks. And
the
last 2 or 3 weeks, they've been phenomenal.
And that all ties back to the coaching. So, cheers to them. They're going for it. They're 8-2 right now. I don't think anyone's stopping them.
They're obviously winning their division. They're gonna fight for a number 1 seed. I don't know that they got a 1 seed, but they're probably like right there.
They're gonna be fighting for it. I think
it's probably them or Buffalo. Honestly,
them or Buffalo. If Buffalo starts turning around, if not, it's definitely gonna be Tennessee. With all of the
which is crazy.
With all of the games that the Patriots have lost, I don't think there's a chance that they get a 1 seed ever.
The crazy thing is the Patriots should be like 8-2 right now.
They could be. They could be 9-1.
No Damian Harris fumble week 1, and there was another game that they were super close in that they shouldn't. Oh, the Buccaneers game.
Mm-hmm.
If
they easily could have won those 2, and
they'd
be right in the top right now.
Another segue. Let's just go right into Thursday. New England.
So let's take everything about the Patriots and flip it because it's the Falcons are covering. I don't think they're winning, but the Falcons.
You're taking the Falcons?
I'm taking the Falcons.
I'm
just primetime. I'm riding the primetime theme.
You love the close primetime games.
And it didn't happen last week but
yeah, no, it didn't actually.
In the Miami-Baltimore game, I would say yes, but in the Monday night game, no.
Dogs, ATS, and primetime are like unbelievable this year.
So I'm going to continue it. And you know what? The Patriots are due for a little bit of a setback. I don't think they lose to the Falcons. I don't think that ever happens. but I think 7 is a lot for a primetime game right now, so I'm just going to take it.
I just don't want to pick against the Patriots right now. I mean, I don't.
That is completely fair.
I get why you think the Falcons, and just it's one of those spot games where it's a Thursday night in Atlanta, and all the.
I'm sure people are hammering the Patriots right now.
80%. I just looked, so it's like, yeah, there's definitely a chance that Vegas takes all of it, but I'm just gonna take the Patriots. I'm riding high on the Patriots. They've looked great. They got to win by a touchdown.
Mac Jones has looked really good. The game against the Browns was his best game ever.
I gave the Patriots so much shit for drafting Mac Jones, and I'm slowly starting to eat it.
too.
So don't get me wrong, I'm fully 100% on board with Mac Jones, but I was talking a whole hell of a lot of shit when they drafted him.
I was too.
So
100%.
I will put my right hand up and say I was probably wrong about that one.
Nolan Scan was wrong about Mac Jones. He is very good at football. And he does not look like me with his shirt off.
My pick is Patriots -6.5. I also like the under in this game. I don't think it's a high scoring game.
Oh yeah, no, me neither. Matt Ryan sucks.
Matt Ryan's so bad. I'm also
their team sucks.
Baltimore off a tough loss on Thursday at Chicago. That's a disgusting game.
Yes, it is.
Baltimore's -5 in Chicago. I need to take Baltimore here off a loss. They have not covered in 3 weeks.
I'm done taking Chicago, so I think, yeah, they definitely bounce back. The Ravens are a bounce back kind of team. Anytime they disappoint, they usually bounce back the game.
We said this the other 2 weeks ago about Chicago. I don't think they're going to put up a lot of points, and then they put up 27 against Pittsburgh, but I don't really see them putting up a lot of points against Baltimore. It's probably like a 20-14 type game, or 28-14, somewhere in that ballpark. But I like Baltimore in this game.
Me too.
Houston at Tennessee. Houston is a 10.5-point dog. I mean, we just talked up Tennessee, and
they're at home. No, you're not taking Houston.
I like Houston here.
Oh,
I think 10.5 is too many points.
I've thought that all season with you. Well, in the beginning of the season with Houston.
It's a divisional game. The Titans have won so many in a row. This is just a classic, we'll just come in and hit the shit out of Houston.
Don't worry, guys. Yeah. We'll cover this 10.5.
And then
we got you.
And then it's 14-14 in the third quarter, and you're sitting there fuck, come on, we really gotta do this with Houston right now. I like Houston this game.
I like that only because of I like that, but Tennessee at home.
It's hard to pick against them. It really is.
It's a hard place to go into for some odd reason.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I would love to see, especially with how bad Houston has been and the large point spreads that they've had, how shitty they are against the spread still.
Mm-hmm.
That is incredible.
Mm-hmm.
How you can't even cover a 17-point spread in the NFL. We're talking about the National Football League. So I'm going to take Tennessee. I just think that's an easy one for me.
I don't blame you for that one. Saints at Eagles. Saints are a 1.5-point underdog in Philly.
Another shitty one.
I'm gonna let you go first on this one because I'm not really sure. Over under's 43.5, down from 48. Your pick.
Jesus Christ. Does that smash the under? Is this gonna be a 17-7?
Yeah, probably right.
It goes from 48 to 43.
43.5.
What the fuck happened? Who died? Why did it jump that far?
I wonder if Taysom Hill is starting. Oh, Kamara's probably not playing this week.
Oh, Trevor Siemian.
Yeah, that's kind of an icky combo.
I don't know. I always pick against the Eagles, and I'm going to continue doing so. I think this is a very icky game where neither team can score. So if it's a coin toss at that point, I'm going to take the Saints.
See, I kind of think the same way, but if it's a coin toss, I just want to take the home team. So
that's fair. And this could be one of those games I'm completely wrong about, and Eagles go out and score 35. Fuck you.
I want to take the Saints here, I do. But then if I take the Saints, I know the Eagles are putting up 30 points. So I just can't, in my heart.
That's what I'm saying. I'm still taking the Saints.
I just can't do it. So I'm going to take the Eagles. If it's wrong, fuck it. I'm wrong. But I'm going to take the Eagles.
My ploy failed again to get you to not take the Eagles.
I think I've taken the Eagles every week. There might have been 1 week where I didn't take them, but I think I've taken them every week. Miami at the New York Jets. Jets are 3.5-point dogs.
I mean, I've already said.
I'm riding with you.
Let's go.
Jets, Jets.
I mean,
Zach Wilson's back, I think, this week.
I mean, that doesn't really move it for me.
Oh, no, I'm not saying it should.
Because it's probably Tua also.
Yeah, if he's healthy enough, he's going to start. There's no reason he won't.
So
oh, what a match.
Battle of the Titans.
Yeah, what
here.
a matchup, dude.
No, whatever. I'll just take the home dog. I love home dogs, so
don't need to dive further on that one for sure.
They're just fighting for crumbs at this point at the bottom of the AFC East.
Colts +7 at the Bills.
This I was thinking about this a lot. I'm gonna let you go first though. Because I'm interested to see what you have to say.
Money's 50-50. Colts had a tough loss in Buffalo last year in the playoffs. I don't know. Colts have been putting up a lot of points. They put up, 23 last week, but 45, 31, 30, 31.
Which is also weird.
Yeah.
But now they have to play the Bills
in Buffalo.
In Buffalo.
This is one of those games where I want to take Indianapolis, but I know it's not the right pick, so I'm going to take Buffalo. And I never do that. And
I'm going to take Buffalo too. I think this is a very good chance for them to get back on the horse.
I think this game is close for a lot of it, and then Buffalo pulls away at the end.
I like that. I think Carson Wentz might get killed.
I just don't want to lay so, or I just don't want to take 7
Especially,
points.
and I know there's supposed to be storms rolling through. I think Monday, but I don't know if it could affect Buffalo on Sunday.
I'm just all set with Carson Wentz at this point.
If it snows in Buffalo on Sunday,
yeah.
or even if it's just cold, which it will be, Carson Wentz is going to be such a pussy.
Yeah, his vagina will hurt a lot.
He's going to get hurt in that game.
I
don't like rooting for injuries, and I'm not rooting for him to get injured, but that's just my prediction that he probably gets an ankle injury or a rib injury. He loves those.
I don't believe we have we do have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. We have 2 teams on bye this week. That's
pretty good.
So we have 15 out of 16 potential games.
It's usually been 3 or 4.
Mm-hmm. Detroit at Cleveland in the Poop Bowl. Cleveland is -11.5. I don't know what to do with this game. I'm just gonna.
It's up to 11.5.
Yeah, I'm just gonna
lay 10 before.
It's 11.5 right now. I'm just gonna lay 11.5 with Cleveland. Nah. Oh wait, Tim Boyle starting over Jared Goff.
Give me the Lions. Tim Boyle.
All right, here's.
I was gonna take Cleveland until you said that.
Here's my pick. My pick is Cleveland -11.5 with Case Keenum.
Oh, so are they starting Case Keenum?
I think it's up in the air right now.
Baker's been bad.
If it's Case Keenum, my pick is the Browns. If it is Baker Mayfield, my pick is
Tim Boyle.
It is Tim Boyle and the Detroit Lions.
I'll take Tim Boyle. This game, I don't give a fuck. I don't have any sort of read on what's going to happen. Both of these teams have
This is going to sound nuts, but if Detroit covers, I think they probably win the game.
Okay. They got to win at some point. Well, I don't think they go winless the whole.
It would be so Browns this year to go 0-15-1. 0-15-1, come on.
Or you mean Lions?
Lions. I don't know why I said the Browns normally
do that. Browns have done that. Because didn't they do that? They tied the Steelers that one year. That was 2018 maybe? 2018?
Mm-hmm.
They tied the Steelers that year. But I don't think they went 0-15-1, but.
So
yeah, give me the Lions.
Lions?
Fuck it.
All right. So
I would be so happy if they cover that fucking 11.5.
Green Bay -2.5 at Minnesota.
Why is it 2.5?
All right, before you say anything, this is a lock. Over 49.5 in that game. Lock. LOCK.
Because it's in Minnesota.
Because it's in Minnesota. Do you remember the game for week 1 last year? Devontae Adams had 250 yards and 2 touchdowns. It was 41-36 or something.
Do you think we have a repeat of that?
I think we have close to a repeater of that. And I think it's 38-35 Green Bay. Something like that.
Okay.
I'm
Green Bay definitely wins.
I'm taking Green Bay here. It's 2.5. Well,
They did not look good against the Seahawks.
they did not.
The Seahawks just looked way worse. And they tend to be a little bit streaky in that regard. So, would I be surprised if they come out and put up fucking 38 or 40 against the Vikings? No. The Vikings are bad.
80,
I'm a little concerned why it's 2.5.
80-20, and the line's starting to move towards Minnesota, which I don't like.
80% of the money's on the Packers.
Do we both flip? Home dog?
Vegas might take all of that.
I don't know. Well, they might take all of that, but like, I don't know. The Packers need to win for home field, so I don't want to go against that either. What's your pick? Because I don't like this game. Whatever. All right.
From the
listen,
minute I saw this, I was icky of it.
I'm teaming up with you, and whatever you're picking for this game is my pick. So this is all riding on your shoulders.
Let's dive into this a little more. Every time I think a game is icky, there is one team that is involved, and it's the Minnesota
Packers.
Vikings. I don't get it. They have flashes where they look like the best team ever.
They just have a stench around them where they always do dumb things at dumb times. And
they have an amazing offensive roster. Dalvin Cook has been in and out. I get that, but their backup, who's their backup guy?
Quarterback? Oh, running back? Madison.
Yeah. Number 25. I just couldn't remember his name. He's looked very good.
I mean, he looks like Dalvin Cook when he's right there. Like,
right. With he's a little bit bigger, I think.
Yeah.
And so he's got a little bit more of like a power run aspect where Dalvin more looks like Alvin Kamara, where he's like kind of like, but oh my God, dude, this is
a tough
so
game
bad.
to pick for sure. I mean, like Minnesota at home, you can easily see just coming out here and like putting the smackdown on Green Bay. It's a divisional game. At the same time, like
Adam Thielen, Justin Jefferson.
Yeah, Green Bay's been
probably Dalvin Cook.
Green Bay's been one of the best teams in the league this year, so it's like, do you really want to pick
Aaron Jones? Which did he get hurt?
No, Aaron Jones.
He got hurt. He did.
AJ Dillon.
Which he's also looked. Are they the same team?
Yeah.
Just one
knows
has how to win. One doesn't.
One has Aaron Rodgers and one doesn't.
True. Aaron Rodgers knows how to win. Kirk Cousins does not.
Definitely does not.
In the regular season.
Until the NFC Championship.
Sal rolls his eyes. Fuck it. Vegas is taking all of it. I'm gonna take the Vikings.
I'm with you then. I
right.
said whatever pick you're taking, I'm taking. So we're on the Minnesota train.
Let's do it.
I think we're both taking Carolina against Washington. I
love that.
We have no
revenge game.
Yeah.
Although, is it a revenge game though? Does he hate Rivera?
No, they're kind of boys, I thought.
I think he would be a little. If I was Cam and the way Cam is, I would be a little mad that when Rivera was asked if he was bringing Cam back, he explicitly said
he was like hell no.
Yeah, he was like not angry about it, but he was just like explicitly nope.
So I also heard something that Rivera said in one of his conferences. It was like, if you played against Cam Newton, I forgot when they asked this. I don't know if it was recently or not, but like, if you ever had to play against Cam Newton, do you have like plays saved specifically against him, like for your defense? And he said yes, absolutely. So
yeah, I saw that.
I don't know, like Cam back at home in Carolina, like everyone's gonna be jumping. Like it's just one of those games where it's like
the moment is gonna be so big.
Well, yeah, you don't want to be like you can like try to be cute and take Washington, but then it's like 14-0 in the first quarter, Carolina, and Cam's just like hyping up the crowd, and he's like, yeah, and you're just sitting there like
giving balls out.
Yeah,
to the
and
crowd.
you're just like, why did I take Washington?
He's doing
here?
the Superman thing, you
and
know?
it's like if Washington comes out and like puts the smackdown on early, I could still see like Carolina coming back towards the end of the game. Whereas like if Carolina comes and like starts
with Sam Darnold, we wouldn't say that.
No.
With Cam, I could see it.
Yeah, but if like Carolina comes and starts out like 14-0 or 10-0, like Washington's not covering this game, I don't think.
I'm curious to see how they utilize Cam as a starter. Like, are they going to do it how the Patriots did it, where he's a glorified running back, or are they actually going to try and have him throw the ball?
They're going to have him try to throw the ball, but I don't know how.
If they do it that way, it's just not going to work. Mm-hmm. He cannot throw the ball.
I think they're going to try to make an offense that's somewhat useful to Cam, where it's like shorter throws. You're going to see a lot of McCaffrey on Sunday, I think.
Which,
I mean, you see it every Sunday, but
yeah. McCaffrey is clear. Like every time I've seen Carolina play, McCaffrey is the only reason why they stay close.
You want to know what's hilarious? He's not tackled at the 1 yard line like so many times this year, and of course this year I have him for fantasy. Like I've seen like 3 or 4 times, like at least in the Arizona game, where he got tackled like inside the 2 yard line. I'm just like, get it in, dude. Like, score.
I just think, yeah. What was it, 2 years ago that he had that lights out year?
Yeah,
where he was the best player ever
in fantasy.
Yeah, if it doesn't go through McCaffrey, they lose. And they lose pretty handily most of the time. So
I'm taking Carolina. Everyone, it's just all vibes in Carolina.
I'd rather take Carolina here.
Our team we were talking about earlier, San Francisco, heading into Jacksonville. That's
gross. East team going west.
1 o'clock. Jacksonville's a 6.5 point underdog. I think they just run all over Jacksonville. I'm gonna take San Fran.
Coming off their big win.
I'm still gonna take San Fran. They gotta win this game, and at that point, just you gotta win by a touchdown. And that's a bad team, so I'm just gonna take San Fran.
Because is this when San Fran takes off, or was last?
Or is it like all smoke and mirrors, and now it's like, oh well, now?
Or what? Because we're gonna see really quick if it was San Fran playing really well or the Rams just pooping.
I'm going to say it was San Fran playing well because I took San Fran to make the Super Bowl, which was a bad pick.
Yeah, I can't take myself to take the Jags here, so I'm going to also take the 49ers. Have we agreed on every game?
Basically.
We have?
I mean, not every game, but we've been pretty similar so far. 1, 2, 3.
Okay, 4. Philly and New Orleans we didn't.
Mm-hmm. Houston.
Carolina we did.
I took Houston. You took Tennessee.
Okay.
Yeah, but you took the Falcons too.
Okay.
That's some. We got some.
No, all right. Yeah, a couple. I like that.
This one might be where we differ, but I told you before the podcast, I love a game this week. And I absolutely fucking love this game. Bengals at Raiders. Bengals are a 1-point favorite. Nolan, I'm going to give the floor to you, and then I will take over afterwards.
Okay. I'm going to... So, the Raiders did not look good on Monday night. They're on a short week.
Mm-hmm.
They're still at home.
Mm-hmm.
Bengals have not... They're another team, like the Chargers, like the Bills, like Baltimore in some way. They haven't looked good the past few weeks. Coming off a bye. I really like the Bengals.
Nolan?
You love the Raiders.
I love the Cincinnati Bengals in this game.
Okay. All right. Why? You tell me why.
They're off a bye.
Okay.
The Raiders season is slowly falling apart.
Okay.
Wheels are in the mud right now.
Mm-hmm.
Just lost a huge game in primetime. Their coach is an interim coach. Just everything to me in this game is just pointing Cincinnati blowout. Like I think Cincinnati could go in there and win by 30.
I do too.
The line is -1, and I think that's the worst line I've ever seen.
Because Cincinnati just has to win.
Cincinnati's got to win the game.
And okay, the Raiders. Okay, this Bengals look a lot more like
the Raiders.
The Raiders. The Bengals look a lot more like 6-4 than the Raiders do.
Yeah, oh, I love that.
And the Raiders are screaming 5-5.
It's just not one of those games that like Vegas comes out there and like, you know, it's just like, oh, like in Vegas, like everyone's like, I think like the balloons popped on them. I think they're just like one of those teams that's just trending down now. Like it's just
they had their little run.
They had their run. They were cute for a little bit.
And John Gruden was racist.
I say this all the time. I could be wrong about this game. I could be totally wrong. I'm a human. I make mistakes. I think Cincinnati is a fucking lock this week. A lock, a burial, a blowout, everything. Cincinnati for everything Sunday.
All right.
That's how I feel.
I do like that. I mean, I just think I look at this game very like objectively and just from afar. I don't really dig deep into stats or whatever. I just do the eye test. The Raiders have not looked good. They're coming off a short week. They're trending down. Chiefs are now trending up. In that division, They couldn't take advantage, and I think the Bengals really want to keep pace with the Ravens. They want to take advantage of the fact that the Ravens just lost, and they want to stay a game back.
And they just got smacked around the last time they played. Like, they literally got blown off their home field
after they smacked the Ravens, which you're gonna have to do if you want to make the playoffs. And
I just think the huge selling point for me is that they had a bye last week.
Yeah, me too. I think after a big loss like that, a bye is the perfect thing to be.
I mean, you're just for 2 weeks. You're just thinking about how are we beating the Raiders this week,
because then everyone forgets about it.
Yep.
Everyone, other than the fact that we have a podcast and we talk about football, everyone's gonna forget that the Bengals had that really bad loss. So I think there's no pressure on them right now. So
I love Cincinnati in that game.
Me too.
Arizona at Seattle. Arizona's a 2.5-point favorite in Seattle.
Dog shit line.
Kyler's supposed to be back.
He's gonna play. And D-Hop is gonna play. Why is it 2.5? Is it because they're not gonna play right now? Right now?
I'm taking the Seahawks.
Why? Don't do that to me.
I don't believe in the Cardinals for some reason.
Why?
I don't know.
They're still 8-2.
I know,
they
dude.
lost Kyler Murray and they're still 8-2.
I know. I just
should be 9-1 still.
They just seem so they seem like the Titans. I watch the Titans every week and I'm no, but you get it done. So what am I gonna say? You got wins. I don't know.
Championship DNA.
It's not that
Colt McCoy got him a win.
Yeah. It's not against San Francisco too. Obviously, it's not I think Arizona's a bad team. I just think they've been playing over their skis and they're just due for some regression. I don't think they're a 14-3 or 15-2 team, honestly. But I like the Seahawks here at home.
I don't know why you did that to me, because you made me start wondering about this game when I was really confident because this is a division game. Yeah,
division game.
It is. Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna stick with it. I'm gonna stick with Arizona. They're one of the best, if not the best, team against the spread. I believe they're also 8-2 against the spread. I think. So they're one of the best against the spread. And if Kyler Murray and D-Hop are back, they should win this game. And if it's what is it, 2.5?
Mm-hmm.
If it's 2.5, I'll take that all day with Arizona.
Game of the week, in my opinion. Dallas at Kansas City.
Definitely game of the week.
Dallas is a 2.5 point underdog. Over under 56. Give me the over.
You already know who I love.
You love Dallas. I want to take Dallas, and that's not something I do either.
No, you've been living on the Chiefs. I think for
why
most
do you
of the season.
Why do you like Dallas in this game?
I like Dallas because, number one, if the Chiefs want to get into a shootout, Dallas is the perfect matchup for that. They will be okay, we'll go score 45. If you want to score 40, we'll score 45. They can do that. But I also think their defense is playing well enough that they can get to Patrick Mahomes. And I think Patrick Mahomes is going to throw an interception to Trayvon Diggs. I think that's a given. Yeah, I think it's a close game. I think it's a shootout, but Dallas is winning. This might be the game that goes 45-40 or 38.
38-35.
Anytime Dallas is an underdog, just give them to me.
You did say that a couple weeks ago against Minnesota, too.
And they won.
Yeah, they did.
By a lot.
I mean, I just love the over in this game. Picking this game, I don't really know.
Dallas probably has one of the best point differentials in the league, I would have to assume.
Yeah. No, honestly.
They've been beaten up on teams.
The Chiefs getting less than a field goal at home is screaming they want.
That's fair. What's the money at? I'm curious.
50-50.
Which I think is what it should be.
I feel
but you would think a lot of people think like you do.
Yeah, well, I think they are Chiefs Chiefs only have to win by a field goal. That's easy.
Or are they goading you on?
Yeah, that's Chiefs? What I'm thinking.
Oh, okay.
So, I'm gonna take Dallas here against my better instinct. I think this is just one of those games where like if Dallas kind of gets up by like 7 or 10, the game might be over. And I know it's crazy to say against the Chiefs, but I feel like they'll just be like in control and like control the pace and the possession, and it'll be one of those like 38-31 kind of games. Dallas wins, or like I feel like they'll control the game sort of thing. So I guess I'll take Dallas. It's not really my favorite pick, but whatever.
The way I see it is this game can go one of two ways. Either Dallas is going to come out and shit kick them in the first half because the Chiefs hate the first half, or it's going to be a close shootout game. And I think, like in this scenario, to me, Dallas wins both. So
all right,
I'm going to take Dallas.
Pittsburgh at the Chargers. Chargers are a 5.5-point favorite.
Interesting. Is Big Ben going to be back? Probably. He was on COVID protocol, so
questionable right now. So maybe.
I really don't know if that even moves the needle for me, to be honest with you.
Well, no, because if it's Mason Rudolph, I'm all set with Mason Rudolph.
I mean,
especially in a
5.5 is kind of a lot for how the Chargers have been playing, which is interesting to me because do the Chargers?
I gotta take the Steelers here. I don't like the pick, but I gotta take the Steelers. I just think it's too many points, and it's basically a home game for them. So it's like you're playing. Obviously it's not your home turf, but you're basically playing at home, and you're getting 5.5 points. I'll take the Steelers.
I might have to agree with you, but I'm not going to. I'm gonna take the Chargers. I think they win by 7.
That's a good pick.
I think they win by 7. I do think it's a close game. I think under screams this game, only for the simple fact of how the Chargers have been playing, and I don't know. I think for the most part, most of these primetime games haven't been that high scoring. Besides Monday, obviously, but that game was over before it even started.
Yeah.
Chargers -5.5.
Last game, Monday night, way past Tom Brady's bedtime. -10.5 for the Buccaneers. I said so. The last time they played the last time they played in primetime, we were talking about how he's 0-12 in his last 12 primetime games against the spread. So
pretty good.
I said he's due the last time. The spread was 7. They won by 6, obviously. So now again, I have to take the Buccaneers. Taking them -10.5. I can't. Because if I take the Giants and the Buccaneers kill them, I will be so pissed. So
I am also going to take the Bucs.
The
Giants covered in prime time against the Chiefs. I can't see them covering again in prime time against another really good team.
Tampa at home this year has been unstoppable too.
And they're coming off a loss.
And I think they get AB and Gronk back? I believe they get one or both back this week. I'm pretty sure. So.
I think AB will come back. Not entirely sure about Gronk, but I haven't seen anything.
Yeah, I mean, I like Tampa Bay a lot here, honestly.
I think as soon as AB comes back, we're going to start seeing Tampa look like Tampa again.
They're going to hit their stride right at the perfect time, just like they did last year.
And it's the Tom Brady formula.
Happens every time.
And people still don't believe it. People never take it. So, yeah, Tampa Bay, I think, will kill them.
So, one more time, pick 3 records. You and Antonio still have the same record, 15-11-1.
Yes, sir.
I'm 13-14. Would you actually I'm sitting at Antonio's spot, so I have to deliver Antonio's picks.
Okay. Yeah,
so
you can do that.
Antonio was nice enough to send us his pick 3 for this week. Ravens -5 around there.
Yep.
I think that's a good pick. If I'm him, I'm just thinking the Bears suck, so
exactly.
Good pick from him.
We're gonna
he took the Chiefs.
He did take the Chiefs.
Oh no, that makes me hate my Dallas pick. Oh, that sucks. All right.
If he's here right now, he's like,
yeah.
Chiefs kill him. Chiefs. They're gonna smack the Cowboys.
Oh, that sucks. Chiefs -2.5, and the Giants +10.5. I hate that pick. I think he goes 2-1. I think the one he loses is Tampa Bay.
You think so?
Yep. All right, Mr. Nolan, I'm gonna go to you because I went 3-0 last week.
All right. Number 1. I'm so sorry, Antonio. Dallas +2.5.
Head to head.
Head to head. I just have a lot of faith that Dallas can go out and play. Is this a scenario where Nolan is completely wrong? Maybe. But we're not going to think about that. Next up.
Cardinals.
Cincinnati. Minus, what is it?
Uno.
You have 1. Okay, I also had 1. Cincinnati -1. You probably also have it in your pick 3. But
I can't talk like that and then not put it in my pick 3.
yeah, I do this before we start the podcast. So Cincinnati -1. I really love that game too. The Raiders have been trending down, so that's what I'm gonna do. Last but not least, certainly not least, because Sal might hate me. Atlanta +7. I'm putting it in my pick 3.
Are you
Can
shitting
you believe
me?
that?
Are you shitting me?
What are you doing, Nolan? I'm putting it in my pick 3.
I hate you. I honestly not hate you. It's only 6.5 too. I'm not even giving you 7.
That's fine. They're gonna cover that 6.5.
Oh, I fucking hate you. I'm lighting the candle because I have to.
Light the candle. Do it. Let's see it.
I had a 3-0 again.
Don't burn your finger.
I mean, I almost do it every time.
With those kind of light, you're supposed to. Okay, whatever. Do your thing. Do your thing. Do your thing. All right. The candle is lit.
The Sal and the candle are 3-0, so we're gonna go for another 3-0. Cincinnati is obviously in my pick 3. I have to. I just have to take them. Like
Very much.
As soon as I opened the app, it was screaming. It was
like glowing.
No,
like one of those.
This is gonna shock you and Antonio if he hears it. Tampa Bay -10.5. Going head to head against Antonio.
You tend to not do that. You tend to not take those big spreads.
I never do. I just think at home in prime time, they're gonna murder them. And if they don't, they don't. It is what it is.
Remember when we said that when they played the Eagles in primetime?
And they did until the fourth quarter, and then it was just a shit show.
That one was also in Tampa.
No, that was in Philadelphia.
Are you sure?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay.
I was not too happy about that one at all. I cannot take an over/under for my pick 3. That's correct. Yeah.
No. You could put it in there as like an extra pick though.
Okay, extra pick. Packers over 49.5.
Okay.
That doesn't count towards anything, but lock that in as well.
All right. I like that.
Last pick. This is tough because I do not know who I like for a third pick. I do this every week. Fuck.
It's always the last pick. It's so elusive to you.
Carolina -3.5.
All right.
Give me Cam Newton. Superman. Let's go.
I like that.
Come on.
Revenge game.
He's back.
He is back.
I'm back. That's what he said. I'm back.
I love that actually.
3.5. Little too much, but I'm fucking taking it. I don't care.
Fuck it.
Whatever. 3-0 again.
Here we go.
Thank you, Candle.
Thank you, Candle.
Adios.
Thank you, Antonio.
Antonio, we love you.
Love you. We'll be back next week.
Peace.